Reincarnation, the belief that the soul, upon the death of the body, comes back in another body or form. An idea of rebirth that is often looked forward to by many. But to some, it's just gacha IRL. All these years, we've been following the story of WhyGuy as he climbed the ladder of League of Legends solo queue, facing greater challenge as he climbed higher. But this story is not about WhyGuy. There is one individual that continues to block WhyGuy's path of ascension, the physical manifestation of suffering and hatred, the main source of all the WhyGuys across the multi-realms. Evil Papa. How can an individual accumulate this level of hatred to a point where he managed to bring his imaginary friend to existence so he can have someone to pour his cup of anger on? To deeply understand such individual, I believe we must go back, not just back to Evil Papa's past, but way back before he came to being, 1,000 years back, to one specific lifetime that would help us understand the source of this hatred from the lands between. This is the story of Gaius, the Tarnished.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Awaken, inside the Chapel of Anticipation, having no memories of his past but his name, Gaius notices the sword in his hand. Having no idea on what he's supposed to do, he tries it on some innocent merchandise. By battling air as he swings randomly, Gaius familiarizes himself to the way of the sword. Going down the path of the wooden staircase, Gaius found a hanging bridge that might lead to somewhere. As the wind strongly blows on his cloak, he traversed the hanging bridge, and as he approaches the center, an unexpected threat appears. His body full of wounds from the grafted Sign's sword, thrown into a cliff with his heart barely beating. But somehow, Gaius's will to live allowed him to survive.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
So it's that kind of game, huh? Humiliate the player before teaching them how to properly play the game. As much as Gaius enjoyed dreaming about that magnificent creature with the hooded human riding it, being near death's door was not a pleasant experience. So without hesitation, our protagonist descended to the Cave of Knowledge. Going deeper into the Cave of Knowledge, Gaius learned how to lock on to his target. If only he knew of this sooner before facing the grafted sign, though I highly doubt the outcome will be different. Gaius discovers that there's an arm attached to his left torso, and it's holding a shield, so he decided to make use of it. Upon learning how to jump, Gaius also learned how to dash, and most importantly, he discovers that he can wield his sword with both hands, boosting the strength of every swing by 50%. I believe our protagonist is finally ready. It appears that those zombies has trained Gaius pretty well. Back to the entrance of the Cave of Knowledge, Gaius ventures forward. Ascending on a platform that elevates, our protagonist opens the door onto a new location. Limgrave.
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Conversing with the guy in the white mask, Gaius found somewhat of a purpose. 4 things are needed: a maiden, guidance, strength of runes, and an invitation to the Round Table Hold, the ray of light that a sight of grace exists, to guide a Tarnished along the proper path. That leaves Gaius with 3 more things, because honestly, I don't think anyone wants to die in obscurity. Seeing a child riding a pony down the valley, our protagonist decides to approach the lad, hoping that he knows anything about the Round Table Hold, or perhaps a maiden. Now that I get to examine the lad up close, it's more of a massive masculine manly man on top of a huge Percheron. Unlike the soldier of Godric at the end of the Cave of Knowledge, the Tree Sentinel's strength is on a different level. So Gaius decided to go for a different level of approach. Instead of battling the tree sentinel head-on, our protagonist went for a sneak attack, hoping he'll get the upper hand. The tree sentinel didn't like that early non-consensual slap on the back one bit, that he as well went for a sneaky lunge on Gaius from behind the trees. But it was a tactic that our protagonist can smell coming. Even though he doesn't have the ability to communicate verbally, it greatly enhances his sense of smell. Gaius was slowly getting familiar to the tree sentinel's attack patterns, but not to the attacks of the horse, I'm afraid, depleting his flasks every time Gaius is hit. Successfully avoiding the tree sentinel's halberd, the challenging part unfolds when Phase 2 begins. I see he discovered the shield-holding arm that's attached to his left torso, and decided to make use of it. That fight was somewhat close, made me believe that Gaius would win, but on his third attempt to challenge the tree sentinel, it was on this specific rainy day that he gets massacred once again. Our protagonist perished 3 times at the brutal hands of his foe. with each death familiarizing himself to the tree sentinel's scent. Then came this specific rainy day, that he puts everything that he knew so far against the tree sentinel to the test. What was that? Gaius thought it was an accident, that he brought the tree sentinel's horse to its knees. But that was the second time. Maybe he just got lucky. Ignoring it for now, Gaius focuses on the fight as it draws closer to its second phase. Gaius is so focused on dodging the tree sentinel's attacks that he forgot to be aware of his surroundings. The memories of the grafted scion flashes right before his eyes as he almost falls off the cliff. That's when his focus starts to crumble. Not sure how that hit, but okay. Gaius noticed two important things that can help him win this fight. First, the tree sentinel's charging attack. All this time Gaius was able to dodge it by rolling away to the left, but he accidentally discovered, when he panicked rolled to the path of the sentinel's horse, it placed him into a much advantageous position to land 2 hits. He tried getting 3, but it didn't end well for him. And the second thing, the tree sentinel's weak side. He has none, as demonstrated when he repeatedly destroyed Gaius using both arms during the second phase. But the way his horse moves, and the placement of the sentinel's shield, as if he's trying too hard to protect something. Though he's still unfamiliar to the timing of its attacks, Gaius found the horse's weakness. By continuously approaching their left side, our protagonist counterattack begins. That's the 4th time Gaius unleashed that move. But he's still clueless about the condition needed to unleash that weapon. Being in the middle of battle, Gaius decided to not think about it. Confident that by his keen sense of smell, he can sniff out the tree sentinel's every move. That'll lead him to the scent of an opening. Down to his final flask, Gaius smells a charging attack coming. Like a freshly lit bathroom candle in the dawn, the scent of an opening spreads to the battlefield. Gaius perfectly times the Sentinel's most powerful move, Shield Crush, then comes to a disappointing realization. It was not the tree Sentinel's scent all along, but it was his own. With the horse farting all over the place, Gaius got confused that turned the certain victory to a rather devastating defeat. It was then at the 5th time that Gaius figured it out. All this time he was struggling to figure out the horse's attack patterns. But unconsciously, Gaius get accustomed to the mammal's breathing pattern. Gaius already won against the tree Sentinel. But this fight is not against the Sentinel. It was Gaius against the horse all along. By unleashing a heavy attack as the horse gasps for air, Gaius was able to cut the oxygen out of it, forcing the horse's heart to pump faster to make up for the lost air, resulting to a stagger. The tree Sentinel unleashes one last charging attack, followed up with a shield bash. Avoiding him as he gets the higher ground, Gaius unleashed his new move, Staggering Slash. Life slowly leaving the tree Sentinel's body, his golden armor disintegrating into gold dust, evaporating into the air as it merges to the ray of light that a sight of grace emits. The gold dust strengthened the light, extending it further, giving Gaius a clearer path for him to take. How can this be? The light from a sight of grace is a guide to every Tarnished. Why would the soul of an enemy such as the tree Sentinel empower it? Confused on the phenomenon that unfolded, Gaius follows the path, expecting an answer at the end of the light.
You're a Tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
After a transaction with the merchant that resides in the Church of Ella, Gaius follows the path guided by the light. Soldiers are roaming the area. Our protagonist proceeds quietly, assassinating them one by one. By following the soldiers, Gaius found himself near the entrance of a cave. Entering the cave with caution, our protagonist brings out the torch that he purchased from the merchant, lighting a path to the dark cave. A family of wolves awaits at the bottom, jumping in the middle of the pack, well more like in the back of the pack. Gaius engages. As our protagonist goes deeper into the cave, he enters the yellow mist. Awaiting inside is a beastman, challenging Gaius to a duel. The beastman's attacks were far more quicker compared to the tree sentinel. But this beast is not so tough, isn't he? Gaius establishes a proper distance by rolling away, observing the opponent's attacks. The scent immediately spreads inside the cave. They cross blades, simultaneously avoiding each other's attack. But Gaius was in a more advantageous position. The scent of an opening, there's no mistaking it. Gaius follows the scent, piercing the beastman's pancreas, followed up with an aerial strike. Gaius times the third strike perfectly as his foe gasps for air. Unlike his encounter with the Sentinel, where it took him a couple of deaths, Gaius felt like his struggle with the tree Sentinel unfolded to prepare him for this moment. Though he didn't get any information about the Round Table Hold or where to find a maiden. His encounter with the tree Sentinel taught our protagonist something very important. Guidance that'll prepare him to the harsh battles that are to come.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring.
Imagine her giving us the Elden Ring right there.
Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent.
Forget about the Elden Ring. Melina has given us something far more greater. A giant troll falls from the sky, but with soldiers also present in the area, Gaius draws the troll out of the gate. Like a gamer who refuses to pay for anything, Gaius used Torrent to his advantage. Rushing past the soldiers at the gate, our protagonist arrives at Storm Hill. After dealing with the soldiers, Gaius decided to avoid any more encounters, blending in with the shadows, entering stealth mode. Whoever's behind that catapult sure has a pretty good eye. Right as he's about to exit through the other end of the gate, Gaius encounters a sorcerer, offering our protagonist a helping hand. Not sure why he needs any assistance, Gaius declined.
Foul Tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Gaius was caught off guard with that menacing entrance. But now, calm and collected, he remembers the training that he and the Tree Sentinel did back in Limgrave. Our protagonist approaches the Fell Omen, all ready for round 2. The scent that Gaius was waiting for, knowing that his staggering slash works, and with a general idea on Margit's attacks. Gaius can win this fight. That was before Phase 2 began.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
The scent of an opening banishes. The Fell Omen's overwhelming presence shattered Gaius's spirit with a devastating move. Sword Spin. Where Margit spins alternating an attack from his staff and spectral sword. Truly a move that has no opening. What Gaius thought would be an easy victory became a grim reminder of the frailty of his current state. That's when his maiden, Melina, pays him an unexpected visit.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to see whether or not grace truly does guide you, and whether you are fit to face the challenge that entails. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of Tarnished champions, guided by grace. Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
A haven for all Tarnished to share their knowledge and seek guidance. Our protagonist made his way to the Round Table Hold. Listening to the stories of his fellow Tarnished, Gaius for once never felt lonely.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fear.
Up to this point, Gaius was fighting his battles alone, but he didn't have to. Fear told him of a sorcerer that's by the entrance of Stormveil Castle, is one of them.
You are very warm.
After receiving the embrace of good luck, Gaius returns, acknowledging Rogier, accepting the sorcerer's help. Margit falls back, overwhelmed by the barrage of attacks. Unaware of his breathing being slightly louder than before, the Fellowman became very susceptible to Gaius's special attack. Staggering slash. The endless assault from Gaius and Rogier continues in Phase 2, giving Margit no room to unleash Sword Spin. The smell of victory, Gaius follows the scent of an opening with a thrust of his sword, aimed at the Fellowman's heart.
Smouldering with thy meager flame, cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.